Hello everybody, welcome to Practice With Me. I'm Denise and today we are gonna be practicing for week 27. Today in the practice we will need some props as well. So what I have here is a yoga bolster, You can replace this one with a pillow, rectangular pillow, the one you use for sleeping. It might be handy to have 2 blocks, and also here I have something to create a soft surface for my knees. So either it's a pillow or a blanket or a piece of cloth. And if you don't have yoga blocks, you can always use some boxes or heavy books that are on the same height. And we are going to start today with the bolster, so it's going to be a restorative practice. We will start with a little warm-up, putting the bolster towards the hips, really on the back, and now we will lay gently on the bolster or on the pillow, and the feet can be either on the butterfly, so the soles of the feet together, or if you feel like a bit more easier, no stretch on the inner thighs, you can also straighten out your legs in front of you, depending on how you feel today. I personally prefer to have my legs in the butterfly pose. You can rest your hands on the ground and start taking deep breaths. This will gently open up your back and your chest. 10 breaths here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from here we will lift up gently. You can put your hands underneath your hips. Either stay here on this bent knee pose again, just lifting the chest up for 20 more breaths. Or if you want a little bit of more challenge, come up and we will start with a half saddle pose. This is going to be an intense stretch on your quads. So, and maybe a little bit on the hip flexors as well, on the psoas muscles too. So basically, if your knees are hurting here, do not push the pose or impose the pose. Just stop, bend the knees and come to the first position that we practiced. Only if you feel comfortable with a bent knee and falling back, practice this one. So what we are doing is bending the left leg and then gently putting the back side of the body towards the bolster. And here you can keep the right foot bent, right leg bent. And if your body is tilting towards the right side, you can always put your right hand slightly underneath the right hip so that it will prevent your rotation. 10 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, and try to relax here. 4, breathe towards this left quad. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now gently roll towards your right side and come up. You can straighten the left leg. Very good. Now we do the same with the right side. Again, this side can be a totally different experience. So watch out the knee and gently lay down. Again, if you are tilting towards the left side, what you can do is put the left hand gently underneath the left hip and stay here for 10 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, gently roll towards the left side and straighten the right leg first. Slowly. And remove the bolster for now. And replace it with your book or with the block. We are going to continue laying down. Now we will focus on the hip flexors. We will just put the block underneath the hips and partially on the lower back. Alright, so that you feel your lower back well supported by the block and your upper hips. What we are going to do is bending the right leg, interlocking the hands either on the shin or, if that is not possible, underneath the thigh, and pulling the right leg close towards your upper body, and at the same time straightening the left leg. Keep the pose active, so do not really loosen the arms. Bend the elbows and breathe. 10 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take your time. 9, 10. Releasing the right foot and bending the left. And again, straighten the right leg all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Releasing the left leg. Now lift up the hips, remove the block, and lay on the ground, keeping the knees bent. Now we are going to do the happy baby pose. And with this one, we are going to spread the legs. The soles of the feet will be facing upwards. Here, feel free to either grab the big toes, or if you already have quite some space, you can also grab your feet from outside. And what we are going to do is have the thighs or the quads parallel to the ground, pressing the lower back on the ground at the same time. So if the lower back hip lifts up, it is not what we want. We want the lower back to be pressing on the ground for a good stretch, and soles facing the ceiling. And again, the ankles and the knees are aligned, so do not bring your feet together or open them too much. Make sure that the knees and the ankles are in one vertical lane together. Alright, so we'll stay here for 15 breaths, relaxing the shoulders. And keeping the breaths calm and smooth. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Release the hands and put the legs down. Drop the knees towards each other. Relaxing the inner thighs. And from here, we will lift up, come to the sitting pose. Very good. Now we will use our block. It is not mandatory or necessary. We will use the block in the front to just as a reference point, or maybe drop the head down, and the block in the back to sit on it. So if in these forward folds, if you sit on a block or if you elevate your height a little bit, it helps to put a little bit more weight forward and also intensifies the stretch. Again, you can just do this just directly sitting on the ground or sitting on a block. Alright, we will do Baddha Konasana. This is really a good stretch for our hips and inner thighs as well. So to come into this pose, we are going to put the feet together. If you're on a block, bring yourself towards the tip of the block. Putting the other block in front of you as a reference point. And here the important thing is, I just remove this so you can see my feet. Do not interlock your fingers and then push your feet towards you. Spread your hands, grab each foot with each hand. Your knees will go down only if you open up your feet towards you like a book. Yes, so here you see my feet are closed and my knees will open up as I open my feet. Good. So try to open your feet. And what we are going to do is gently fold forward. And if you have I have a little bit of a pressure here. So just watch out not to put too much pressure. And drop the head toward the block. 10 breaths here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, and 10. Gently lift up and walk your hands back. Before you completely get out of the pose, sit still with a long spine. Couple of breaths here. And you can just remove the block if you are sitting on a block underneath you, and remove the other one as well. And we are gonna continue working on the inner thighs. Alright, so this is a half Baddha Konasana, or you can see it half Upavishta Konasana. So the left leg is open on the sides. Angle doesn't really matter, so if you can open it all the way, please do so. But try to keep the leg as straight as possible. Right, and then the right leg is again on the butterfly, half butterfly position. You can still use a block as a reference point. You can put it in front of you, or if you are already comfortable without the block, you can also put it on the sides. What I'm going to do is still keep it, and here we will fold forward, so your heel might touch your belly, so you can choose to bring your foot a little bit forward so the belly goes in the gap between the foot and the inner groin. Right, so gently fold down. You can rest your head on the block, or you can just keep your head forward, gaze to a point on the ground. 10 breaths here. You should really feel this on the left hamstring, the inner thigh, keeping the leg engaged all the time. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, Gently lift up. Walk the hands back again. Before we change sides, stay in this position. Taking full breaths. And now switching sides. Take a good inhalation here. And exhale. And forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gently lift the head up and walk the hands back. Taking full breaths. And relax. So we did quite some coverage for the body before we do a final rest. We are going to come to the puppy pose. Here you can actually pad your knees with the blankets if you like. Optional. I don't use that here in this pose. So you can put the knees on the mat or underneath a soft surface, keeping the knees and the hips on one line. So do not come too forward or too much back. Just keep them on one straight line. Walking the hands further up and pushing the hips up here. So I'm pushing my hips up, giving a little back bend and dropping the chin on the ground or the forehead. We are gonna take 8 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Come on your elbows and walk your hands back. Okay, so now we are going to do circles, warming up the wrist a little bit and softening the stretch. I start with counterclockwise, so from right to left. And clockwise now, the other direction, from its left to right. You can drop the head down if you feel more comfortable. And come to a sitting pose to finish the practice today. You can choose to take again 5 to 7 minutes of Shavasana. Lay down, rest. You can also choose to lay down on the bolster or on the pillow, or you can finish off with some resonance breathing or some pranayama practice, a balancing pranayama practice today. Thank you very much for practicing with me. Namaste. And see you next week.